Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, ain't in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Dr. Queen, you are Curtis a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do they motivate. World full of hate, we serve the hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settled in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winning with no award tours. This culture meets the art. Podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevating through stress. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. It's up to you. You got your torch now. MediaScope.
What is up, party people? Welcome to another riveting edition of MediaScope. This is the show where we talk all about media, tech, and pop culture with lots of fun and foolishness every week, Wednesdays and Thursdays in the Caribbean, right here on all the platforms that we're going to talk about. Now, welcome all of you properly. So, who am I? Dr. Tachi. Or just Tachi is fine. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, journalist, joined by you guys and the person running the controls, who I can't wait to hear from. That would be a one MC Curtis.
Hey, what's going
MC.
on? Hey.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
You sound well.
You look pretty radiant, actually. What's going on?
Oh, well, thank you. Nothing. It's MediaScope Day.
Oh, okay.
You think I'm going to come and show up and look like junk for the audience?
Absolutely.
You cannot. I would never shame anybody by showing up to a live audience looking like junk. Who does that?
Well.
Oh, well, okay. We're not going to go into who does that.
Right.
Mr. Short Sleeve Turtleneck. So, inside joke. In case you didn't know or you were wondering, MC Curtis has a whole closet full of short sleeve turtlenecks. And they're green.
With arm warmers. You know, like leg warmers, but for your arms.
So are they just leg warmers that you turned into arm warmers? Tell the truth.
No, they're arm warmers now.
Because they were leg warmers before. But since now they're on your arms, they are now arm warmers.
Right.
Makes perfect sense to me. I don't see any problem with it.
I like to keep people guessing.
You certainly do, because I'm guessing every moment. Every moment of this show, I'm always guessing. Anyway, what's going on with you? Anything new?
Nothing too much. I've been really kind of watching the cryptocurrency. It is taking a beating today. A beat down. Yeah, for real.
It is, but here's the thing, because I'm very into crypto. I think that with any investment, there is a multitude, I shouldn't say a multitude, but a magnitude is a better word, of risk. There's at least a little bit of risk that comes with it. So yeah, it's taking a beating, but we've also had record highs when it comes to crypto as well, right?
Absolutely.
And I say the same thing as I do in any space, like in the investing in stock market. That happens too. It takes a dive, especially after something happens, and then it rebounds. It has to do with consumer trust, right?
Absolutely. Well, but with that being said, I've been looking for a place to really, to take my coins so I can just, what's left of them, so they can try probably survive. But I mean, seriously, all over the market is really taking a beating for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, and this has been for the past few days. Actually,
yeah, absolutely, it is.
It was at a high, for some things, especially newer coins, like for example, ApeCoin. It's some newer thing, but then it's taken a dive. But that's okay. It will rebound. This just means, and I heard people, I'm in Clubhouse, and usually I'm in NFT rooms, crypto rooms, and they said, oh, that just means everything is on sale.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
It's a really good way of looking at it. So
right.
Great way of looking at it. Folks, we have some great stories for you today. I'm excited. Are you excited, MC?
I am. One story in particular, but I'll let you share it.
So excited that I'm going to ask him for the media intro. Great. Media intro, please.
You're a bit frozen, choppy.
I think I'm frozen. Yeah. I'm saying that. Did you play the intro already?
I did.
Okay. You know what? Go ahead. Put up the show card. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year, not ration. Came in abundance. Films like in Sundance. Tech like the pop art. Tachi Queen, you are Curtis, a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary. And seldom do they motivate. World full of hate. We serve a hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, not your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you
Great. You didn't see me, huh? Great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I seen you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
great. I can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I was. This should have fixed the problem. Yes.
Yeah, it's much better now. Much better.
Okay, fantastic. There's a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. Hopefully, it will catch back up. All right, let's start again. Could I have the media intro, please? Fantastic. Well, you know what I forgot to do? I was remiss in giving the hug because of all the technical wahala, but we have our queen of food truckery, the minister of libation, Serena Hills. She says, Wills, not Hills. She says, Happy Taco Wednesday because who's got the keys to her Jeep? MC Curtis does because he's trying to take every single thing out of there. Mm. Welcome, Serena. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk photo one, please. Let me have photo one. Oh, Steamboat Mickey or Steamboat Willie, whatever you want to call him. So this is the original Mickey Mouse. And do you remember, MC, when I was talking about the fact that there could be some problems with the copyright for Mickey Mouse because it ends this year?
I do. I do. Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about why Mr. Steamboat Mickey is back in the news. So, the big thing is the copyright with him, right? So, it's not just Mickey Mouse, it's Disney in general. So, there's been a little bit of onslaught on Disney. There is a bill proposed by Republican Senators Josh Hawley. Is it Holly or Howley? I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't think it matters. So, anyway, there's a law that they're trying to pass that would limit copyright protection to 56 years. So, according to the Copyright Clause Restoration Act of 2022, which is what this is called, the law would retroactively apply to existing copyrights. So, currently, right now, the copyright is life plus 70 years. This bill would look to limit copyright to 56 years. So this is look in complete retaliation for of stripping Disney of rights for Florida by the governor here. So we don't do.
I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
No,
It
I'm
is.
sorry.
It is.
Yep.
It. Yo, no. I know you're like this too. I happen to live in Florida, so we're seeing this play out, right in front of us. So last month, the Florida lawmakers actually stripped Disney of special privileges of self-government. So if you are not from Florida, maybe you understand because in California, it probably works the same way. Think of Disney like the Vatican. You know how the Vatican is in Rome, but it kind of is its own city. It has its own zip code and everything. Think of Disney like that. It's almost autonomous. They have a lot of self-governing privileges, those types of things that don't exist basically other places. So this feud that Disney basically has with the state of Florida now is when the company vowed to push for the repeal of the parental rights in education law, which bars discussions of gender identity or sexual orientation in grades K through 3 and allows parents to sue school districts if they think there has been a violation. It's also known as the Don't Say Gay bill, right? So Disney has now suspended any political donations in Florida, which, if you ask me, an entity like Disney should not be engaging in donations anyway. I think you need to stay politically neutral. And we don't do politics here, but this is related to because Disney is media, right? And it's related directly to that. So, and here's the thing. This is not just a retaliation on Disney. When you do this, this affects creators. This affects
Absolutely.
creators across the board. So you try to copyright something, and here's the thing: 56 years, you create something when you're like, 10, 18, whatever years old, when you're really young. In 56 years, you're still going to be alive probably, and you used to have to then contend with this copyright running out.
But you know what? You know what, Tachi? I think this is just so, it's just so wrong and so awful that that the lawmakers of that place where you're at uh, gets to do that, and to the point where they're succeeding on different levels. That's so awful because that's no different from, again, some of the civil right laws that are, or that many, us as black people have dealt with, where it's that if they don't like something, you get to put a law in place. Now it changes the whole thing because I'm pissed off at you or upset with you on some level.
This whole thing is extremely childish. You're very right.
Yeah.
It's very childish. This is not the way whole adults behave at all. It's really childish. And the big thing here too is there's this retaliation with that thing with Disney. So here's the
Right.
thing: Disney has a lot of things that they do. Like, for example, the road in and around Disney, they pay to take care of those things. So now, there was actually a lawsuit that a judge dismissed because, on behalf of the taxpayers, I don't think it was state, I think it was county, on behalf of the taxpayers, saying that now, because the thought was, now we're going to have to take this on. So there are
Right.
a lot of things that Disney does. If they're not doing it anymore because you're suspending some of these privileges, are we now as taxpayers going to have to pay for these things? Not today. So there was a lawsuit on behalf of them, which a judge dismissed. I have to read further to see what the grounds for dismissal were. I don't want to make any assumptions, but it's terrible. So let me talk a little bit more about this. So again, in so this is what happened in 1998. Well, actually, here's the thing: copyrights were set to expire for some copyrights were set to expire for Disney in 1984, and Disney actually lobbied for reform and secured the passage of the Copyrights Act of 1976, which allowed for ownership of works by corporations for 75 years. So in 1998, Disney was able to again delay the entry of Mickey Mouse into the public domain with the adoption of the Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998. So this law extended protection of copyrights for corporations for 95 years. So for individuals, it is life plus 70. It is 95 years for corporations. So they're trying to roll that back to 56 years. So this would affect who you see on the screen right now, the Steamboat Willie. Is it Willie? Yes, Steamboat Willie, Steamboat Mickey, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, so this would this would not expire if the law stands as is until 2024, but that's still just 2 years from now.
Right.
So basically, they don't want, because I am sure there are people waiting to pounce when it enters the public domain, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But what I don't like is all of this is retaliatory. So because
Absolutely.
now they've changed their tune on some things, you're like, oh, well, we'll show them, we'll punish them, finish him, like in those video games, finish
Right.
him.
Right.
And I think it's extremely childish.
And
Extremely.
this is exactly what many of the police departments do throughout the country, at least in the U.S. I'm
Okay.
sure elsewhere as well, but this is exactly what they do, and this is why a lot of people don't trust them.
Well, and it's not just, we're not trying to, single out one entity. This is what many entities do. This
Sure, sure,
retaliatory
absolutely,
spirit
yeah,
in
absolutely,
terms of, and since we're talking media here, there's this whole retaliatory spirit when it comes to things, which is not productive at all. So if you don't
right,
do things the way I want them done, we're going to
sure,
find a way to dismantle everything you've built. Now, I am not saying that Disney is scot-free and clean and clear of any, not at all. But what I am saying is this is going to have farther reaching implications on other people beyond Disney, other corporations beyond Disney that have works that they don't want to enter into the public domain. And this really affects media, okay? Really, really affects media. How do you protect? I mean, the copyright law was meant to protect creators, but now this seems like the antithesis of protecting creators.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, hey, Girls Club is here. Hello, how are you? She said she can finally listen and focus on the stories. Well, welcome. So good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful folks. If you are just joining, welcome to the fold. This is the MediaScope show. That's weird, but it's MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live. What's up, everybody on Facebook? I was about to say Periscope, but Periscope is no more. I said it for so long, it's just weird not to say it now. But on YouTube, the tubing of the U, we are there as well. If you're on YouTube and watching, welcome. So good to see you. Also, today we are on the linking of the in, or LinkedIn. Welcome, LinkedIn. We're here like every other week or ever so often on LinkedIn. Well, you're lucky to get us today. So welcome, LinkedIn. We are also going to be heard tomorrow in the Caribbean on Gospel 107 point. That's it. Thank you very much, MC Curtis, or like we like to call him, the Music Man. Oh, this is Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine, kicking it with Jazz. What's up? I didn't recognize, but I'm so glad that you are here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yay. And I'm glad you can listen uninterrupted. Girls, uninterrupted. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I will keep you up to date with what's happening with that story. But for now, let's go to photo 2. All right. Remember, MC, that we talked about Travis Scott and the Astroworld tragedy that happened right in your state, actually, where you are in Houston.
Yeah, I do.
Several months ago. We talked about what happened. Well, actually, there has been a recalculation, and attorneys are now saying, for the victims, Astroworld attorneys are saying that over 4,900 people were injured in that tragedy, with at least 732 victims needing, quote, extensive medical treatment. And this is according to a new legal filing. So this is the latest tally by the attorneys, as I said, that are representing the victims, and that's substantially higher than what was previously claimed. So this litigation has been combined into a single large lawsuit in late January, and it involved 387 separate cases for this, and I think they've actually put them into one single large lawsuit with estimates of allegedly 2,800 victims initially. But then they knew that there were some other cases that were going to come up, and this is where they're getting this 4,900 cases now, or 4,900 victims.
So are they actually sending out letters and say, hey, were you hurt? And, oh, yeah, I was hurt too.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is
I don't know how they're doing that. But I'm sure, here's the thing, with a large thing like that, I'm sure many people were hurt. So I knew that initial estimate that they gave was not going to be it.
So question.
Yeah.
Who are they suing? Are they suing Travis Scott, or is it some other company? Because I mean that would probably send someone to the poorhouse after this one.
Well, and whose fault is that?
Well, no. I'm not making excuses for it or saying that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just curious who's footing the bill for this.
I know. Well,
Wow.
the people being named in the lawsuit are Live Nation and Travis Scott.
Oh, okay. So
here's the thing. Yes. So here's the thing. The thing with these class action lawsuits is even when it comes to, the settlement of, okay, this is what the settlement is going to be, rarely do these things, go to court.
Mm,
Usually they are settled. So,
right.
but the thing is, depending on the number of litigants in the case, that depends, determines what your payout is. So they could settle for however many millions, but
Mm,
you end up, well, in this case, there's a finite number of people, but the more litigants you have, the less the payout could be. So it's going to determine the number of claims filed is really significant because that's going to determine the total size of the settlement and the damages awards that are paid out
right.
to the victims. So they're going to continue to evaluate this case as it goes on. So this is not over, even though the news has not talked about it in a while. This is still something that is nightmarish for the victims. I mean, I can only imagine you go someplace with the intent of having fun, and something like this happens.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, unfortunate, unfortunate.
So it will.
Anyway,
So it'll be essentially like 1,000 people will get like Chick-fil-A gift cards or something like that, and then the
you
other
see, I
1,000.
can't with you. I can't with you. I'm trying to take this in a direction that is informative, and you're talking about Chick-fil-A gift cards. Could I have photo 3?
Sure.
Mm. Don't try and act all innocent. But on the serious note, yes, it will determine, but it's probably not going to be Chick-fil-A gift cards. For those of you who don't know, RedBox is a DVD rental box, basically. Outside or inside your favorite supermarket, you can rent the DVDs of your heart's desire. But one thing with DVDs is, there's a finite amount of space. So it's unlike streaming where you could have libraries of, hundreds of thousands. You can only have what your red box will hold, right? And so they've been struggling for a little while. But chicken soul for the soup? No. Chicken soup for the soul entertainment to the rescue. They have acquired Redbox, and they just announced this today in a $375 million deal, 50 million in stock, and the assumption of roughly 321 million in debt. That's a lot of debt.
Yes, it is. Wow. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Okay, I will tell you more. So this deal is actually expected to close in the second half of this year, and they have struggled because of the decline in DVD rentals and also video game rental, because they also rented video games. So I believe so. As these markets are tightening up and lessening, here's the thing: 90%. Oh my gosh, your entire nest egg is in one area. This makes my head hurt. 90% of their revenue came from these boxes in the grocery stores.
Wow.
They had no other plan, MC. If should 90% of, even when it comes to a stock portfolio, experts tell you
Right.
what? Diversify.
Absolutely. Diversify for sure.
Why would the majority of your income so problem number one? So they had about 38,000 kiosks in grocery stores and drugstores nationwide. But the decline, was made worse during the pandemic, when revenues fell from 858 million in 2019 to, just listen to this, 289 million last year.
Wow.
That's
Jeez.
nearly a $600 million decline. That's a lot to lose.
Wow.
So here's the thing. They went public last year. They merged with SPAC and took the company public on NASDAQ. But and that gave them about 145 million in cash, but they still suffered with their financials. Shares continued to slide in November of last year from a high of 18 to just over $2 last month. So they were at $18 a share and they slipped to $2 a share.
So, Tati, so
I'm listening.
why in the world would Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment pay that much money for this company? Being that I didn't even know. I don't even know. Are they still making DVD players?
That is a very good question. The demand for them is not high, but I imagine you can still go and purchase DVD players. It's just there's not a demand for them. So I fall short of saying they've ceased production of DVD players, because here's the thing that you have to remember. A lot of these a lot of players and things are made by companies like Sony,
Yes.
etc. Right? And it's not just the North American and European markets. We're talking about markets in the rest of the world. I hate the word developing, but emerging markets. It's a better term. So in these emerging markets, there are still people who watch things on DVD. We may not in the US,
Right.
but in other countries where you don't have great connectivity, streaming is not something that is always possible. And so you are relying on things like DVDs. So I would imagine, yes, there may not be as big of a demand because the US was probably one of the largest consumers. We are a consumption country. So I can imagine most of the sales initially came from this end, Europe, right? North America and Europe. But for emerging markets, they're still, I think, reliant on DVDs for entertainment to an extent. Wow. So the answer is yeah, they probably don't make them to the levels they did, but they still make them.
It sounds like they were overpriced, big time.
Redbox?
Yeah, there sounds like they were overpriced, or Chicken Soup for the Soul paid way too much, because not only
they bought their debt. They basically bought their debt. So this means that they were probably in debt to that tune. So it's not like So they acquired their debt.
Gotcha.
So here's the thing: for Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, they're based out of Connecticut. They announced plans to acquire 1019 Media for $15.6 million, and that deal doubled the company's content library of roughly 4,000 hours of film and TV, including The Last Blockbuster, Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, and Taika Waititi's breakout indie film, The Hunt for the Wilder People. So, here's what they say. Today marks a transformative moment for Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment and the inflection point for the ad-supported streaming industry. Because Chicken Soup for the Soul also owns Crackle.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, here we go, which is ad-supported. So, it makes sense. They have some experience with streaming because of Crackle.
Right.
So, and what I don't know, because I know that Crackle is Sony, so I don't know if they acquired Crackle from. I don't remember whether or not I have to look that up. If they acquired Crackle from Sony, not too long ago, because it was Sony. All right, so they say our acquisition of RedBox will accelerate the scaling of our business as it combines complementary teams and services to create the streaming industry's premier independent AVOD. All right.
Okay.
So RedBox says they think that they're the ideal partner for RedBox. Look, anybody, if you are in debt $390 million, anybody is the ideal partner if they can pay.
Absolutely.
Okay? Kroger would be the ideal partner if they could pay. Look, it's like, whoever can get us out of this pickle, that's who's the ideal partner.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good for you, Redbox. I'm wanting to see how they're going to swing this, what they're going to do with Redbox. Are they just going to absorb it into the company? Are they going to rename it? Are they going to go with Redbox streaming? Redbox, to be in that much debt, you have to have been in trouble for a while. Why you didn't
Right.
pivot is beyond me. Yes, I know
Right.
why, because it's too much like right. Let's take a look at the room and see if anybody has any questions. Serena Wills has some burrito specials for us, burritos, burgers, and salad. Oh my, come and get it. Well, it doesn't say it's a special, but we have it. Um, Here we go back to Chick-fil-A. Oh boy, not Chick-fil-A. Anyway, we also have specials today. Buy one, get one free on any type of libation that you would like. And Facebook user is here, and I see the let's go, y'all. And that means that is D Works. It just says Facebook user, but I know it's D because of the let's go, y'all. So Jasmine says, I'm surprised they were still making 800 million in 2019. That's what, yeah,
Right.
nobody foresaw what was going to happen in 2020. So everybody was just business as usual. But by 2019, we were already seeing DVDs dying out. We were
Absolutely.
already starting to see this. So I don't know why they thought, oh, we'll just hang on till the wheels fall off. Well, the wheels fell off completely. And now you have no wheels to get out of there.
Flintstones,
Your
huh?
spare is gone, like the Flintstones. Anyway, but somebody still uses them, but not like they did. Anyway, all right, well, let's go to the next one. Could I have photo 4, please? Today on Who Asked for This? Scream 6.
Right.
Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, and Jenna Ortega, are set to return, and they've signed on to return for this next installment, and they announced this just yesterday. So, the 5th installment of Scream was released just in January, and it was a reboot that take on the name of the first franchise in the film, which was just Scream. So it introduced a new generation of teens who, quote, partner up with the original characters played by Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette in order to face off a killer named Ghostface. Why? Why are we still screaming?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
This sounds like a annual, like a scream party that meets up every year, you know?
And they need to leave it off screen because we don't want to scream anymore. So shooting is supposed to happen this summer, and the release date is March of next year, March 2023. Well, here's part of the reason why they're interested in another franchise. It generated in uh, 2011, when since Scream 4 generated over 81 million domestically and 140 million worldwide when it hit theaters January 12th. The first movie was released in 1996, and it actually was a hit, although, again, I don't know how you can judge what is actually a hit during unusual times like a pandemic. Is it just
So,
that we just didn't have anything else to watch? Go ahead.
so, so for a movie like this, I wouldn't imagine that the budget's too big, but maybe they're just looking at it's not such a big budget, but yet the return in itself, because what the numbers you're just given here locally, here in the states, and then outside of the states, that's quite a bit. So again, I don't know what the budget would be for something like this.
That's a good question. I don't know what the budget is for Scream. It's something that's easy to find out, but I don't know what the budget
Right.
is. But what
Right.
I have noticed is that they have not seemed to really scale back on spending big on films, maybe a tiny bit, but not a
Right.
whole lot. So
Well,
what they're relying on is doubling or tripling their investment into these films. But yeah, something like Scream, I'm sure, doesn't take a whole lot, but you have crew,
right.
you have salaries, you have locations. It adds up pretty quickly. So yeah, this is not a $1 million budget. It's not a low budget film.
Hmm.
But you also don't need, okay, something like this, very simple storyline, very few locations. If you remember the first Scream, I think if they had 3 locations, they were lucky. 3 locations, no special effects, no animation, nothing. Just the actors and the foolish storyline. I'm calling it foolish. Maybe other people like it. I don't like horror, so this
Right.
is not my thing anyway, but for those of you that are interested, Scream 6. And that concludes today's Who Asked This? Who asked for this?
Right.
I certainly did not. And shame on you if you did ask for it. Just like we don't need another Fast and Furious. They're on Fast and Furious 7 now. Are
Jeez.
there no other stories?
So they're actually in production with another one. Fast
The
and Furious.
last one was 7.
What was 7? Oh, okay. Yeah, I
I think,
stopped watching these things a while
yeah.
ago.
I've never seen any of the Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious. This time it's personal. Fast and Furious, Born to Flee. Fast and, I mean, I just think we could do better. Otherwise, the large pools of writers are being wasted. But again, I understand that Hollywood is also risk adverse and they work with stories and people that they already know. They don't want to take a chance, which is why they do not grow and change and shift. But that's okay. Have your little Scream 6, Scream 7. Anyway, let's move on. Could I have photo 5, please? Let's talk a little bit about Netflix before we move on. Netflix is said to be considering ads by the end of this year. Remember, I talked about they were going to start to be ad supported? They made a lot of changes, and one way that they're going to raise revenue is through ads. So we already knew that ads were coming to Netflix, but it's sooner than what we all originally thought. So according to the New York Times and Digital Trends, executives have apparently told employees that an ad-supported tier of the streaming service is being planned for a rollout sometime by the end of this year. Now, that's sooner than what investors were told on the earnings call on April 19th, which I wish I was on. I wish I was on because I could have been on it. I just was like, for what? So, but I should have been on it. So they said, Reed Hastings, who's the CEO, said it was going to be over the next year or two to figure out the possibility of ads. But I guess they're looking in their piggy bank. We need to start this ad thing now.
Right. Absolutely.
If we could do it next week, let's do it. So this year or two thing, it's going to be this year. So that's what's happening on the Netflix front. We're going to get ads sooner than what we initially thought. Let's move on. Could I have the intro for the tech segment, please? Okay, so you don't have the photo for this because I forgot to give it to you, but I'm going to talk about this anyway. And Facebook is actually facing a new lawsuit that is alleging human trafficking and human union busting in Kenya.
Interesting.
Yes, just to add, and I'm so sorry I forgot to give you a photo for this, but just picture a Facebook logo or whatever. So the parent company of Facebook is Meta Platforms, and it's actually the largest outsourcing partner in Africa, and they're facing new allegations of forced labor, human trafficking, and union busting in Kenya. So Daniel Motong is a former outsourced Facebook content moderator and filed a lawsuit Tuesday in Nairobi, accusing Meta and outsourcing firm SAMA of multiple violations of the Kenyan constitution. So this follows a story that Time published called Inside Facebook's African Sweatshop.
Jeez.
And this is where Motang and other current and former employees at SAMA first gave their accounts of the widespread trauma and pay as low as $1.50 per hour. And they also alleged that they were busting unions. So SAMA itself actually describes themselves as an ethical AI company. They fired Motang in 2019 after he led more than 100 of his Facebook content moderator colleagues in an attempt to unionize for better pay and better working conditions. So in his dismissal letter, it says that his actions put SAMA's relationship with Facebook at, quote, great risk. So apparently he is he is not a direct employee of Facebook, or was not, but he was a employee of SAMA, which was contracted by Facebook. So he's one of the content, or was one of the content moderators. So he witnessed these disturbing. Remember, we talked about this before, right, the content moderators. So this was probably sparked by the lawsuit that other, content moderators brought forth in the US. And so I'm sure he's seeing this. So here's the thing. He witnessed all these disturbing images, which we've talked about before, so I don't need to go into it. And now he says he regularly has flashbacks and nightmares, and says that the requirement to watch videos of innocent people being kidnapped, etc., left him with severe anxiety in public spaces and difficulty finding another job. So he's still unemployed. Was recently diagnosed with severe post-traumatic stress disorder. Absolutely. And it's the same diagnosis that was shared by many of his former colleagues. And this is what he says. It is not okay that we could be subjected to exploitation by huge corporate companies for profit. They come here and say they are going to save us, only to exploit us and throw us away. I want to achieve an end to that. So Sama said that Motag was fired for the legitimate reason of bullying and coercing his colleagues. That's what SEMA says. So this civil lawsuit is actually the first of its kind, because it seeks not only to get compensation, but also widespread reforms that could force Facebook to change its content moderation practices globally. This is actually very interesting. So I'm going to be watching this case to see what happens, because this is going to actually, force Facebook's and Meta's hand when it comes to content moderation.
Absolutely.
Wow. Let's take a look at the room. Susan Engels, my good friend from YouTube, is here. Welcome, Susan. Hello. Terry Johnson says, hey, MediaScope fan. What's up, Terry Johnson? How are you? Serena has a special for you. No more screaming ice cream special. Buy one, get one free.
Yes, yes.
Very appropriate. Yes, Jasmine, those wheels are gone on the RedBox. Completely gone. All right. Let's keep going. Folks, in case you're just joining, welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook. Hello, YouTube. What's going on? Also on Twitter sometimes. We're not on Twitter today, but LinkedIn we are on today. So LinkedIn people, what's up, what's up? And for those of you that are going to be listening on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, we say blessings. Okay, no theme music. That's all right. Let's keep going. Could I have, because we only have about 4-ish minutes left, could I please have photo 7?
Yes. Hear about this one.
This is the end, my only friend, the end. This is the end of an era, ladies and gentlemen. A moment of silence for the Apple iPod. That's right, folks. iPod. You felt that one, didn't you, MC?
Yeah, I did.
No more iPod. Apple is bidding
Wow.
adieu to the iPod, which first came on the scene in October of 2001. It was a radical breakthrough for listeners globally. It was the first MP3 of its era to allow up to 1,000 songs to be saved with a 10-hour battery life, all in a compact 6.5 ounces. It was revolutionary. It really did usher in this era of music. If you think about it, it really, really did. They then followed up with the iPod Mini 3 years later, and the iPod Nano in 2006, which introduced a wide array of eye-catching colors. I actually have a purple one still, and I just found it the other day. I was looking in something, I think a purse or something. I said, "Hey, so that's where you are." Which follows, I probably need to get rid of that purse because I haven't carried it in eons.
Well,
So, go ahead.
no, I was saying I have like maybe like two iPods, and so they're actually still working too.
Oh, they look. Apple makes good products. They will
Yeah,
last. They will
abs-
last. My iPod still works too, but the thing is, you have to connect it to a computer. It doesn't have a Wi-Fi. I don't know if any of these new ones do, but mine was a Nano, so it doesn't have a Wi-Fi where you could kind of airdrop these songs or whatever. I
right.
don't have that on, but I think some of the newer ones do. But if you want one, you better get it while they're still there because they're not making any more after this stash that they have now empties out. So the thing is, the Nano allowed you to have double the song content. And of course, we can't forget the iPod Touch, which basically was an iPhone, if you ask me, without the capability to call. That was released in 2007. And that really revolutionized the world of music players because it merged the touchscreen interface with an iPod and it expanded it from just music to pictures and videos. I remember everybody's like, oh, I could watch a video. And then what? So that's the cool thing. So they say this: today, the spirit of the iPod lives on. We've integrated an incredible music experience across all of our products. From the iPhone to the Apple Watch to the HomePod Mini and across Mac, iPad, and Apple TV. And Apple Music delivers industry-leading sound quality with support for spatial audio. There's no better way to enjoy, discover, and experience music. So they're just trying to push people who are still clinging to their iPods into this new world of streaming music. So this is while supplies last, like a box of cereal from the 1980s. Get it while supplies last.
Yes, yes,
Don't you remember when we were little, they would always say that on TV commercials, while supplies last? That's a
absolutely.
way of covering them. So they're like, if we run out, oh, well, we told you. And supplies have not lasted.
But you know what? I remember as a kid what the prizes being in the cereal boxes. Remember those?
Oh,
And
I used to
I
love
don't,
that.
I don't know how I found this out, but or who told me. It's been obviously years ago now, but I remember going into the grocery store, counting like every 12 boxes, and that's what I did to grab the box with this prize in it because every cereal box didn't have a prize in it, but it was like every 12 boxes or something like that.
What
So as a
cereal
kid,
were you eating? Malto meal?
yeah, I can't remember what it was. No, it wasn't multi-meal, but it was something like,
That comes in the bags instead of a box.
yeah, exactly. But no, it was, I can't remember which one it was, but it's been years ago.
Yeah, see, because the thing is, I guess that was for special ones, but every time it says with a prize inside, every
Yeah,
box that we got had a prize
it,
inside.
it may,
So we
it
had a
may have been,
multitude of useless toys. Go ahead.
it actually may have been like a, just for
Like
while
a
supplies last or
promotion.
something like that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was kind of like one, two, three, four, five, six.
It seemed like you ate checks.
I loved cereal, but now I can't do the milk too much anymore.
Well, do almond milk or oat milk
Well,
or yeah, the
that's
plant-based.
what I started doing. Yeah, that's what I started doing. So,
And to me, it's just as, in fact, it's better to me
mm,
than like cow milk or dairy milk, I should say.
right.
I enjoy it. What's your favorite cereal, by the way?
Probably Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch.
You need you need a crunching sound for that one.
Well, I think I already did.
Oh,
Yeah, I already have a crunchy sound.
well, can you play it? Oh boy, loud and wrong. Anyway,
And that was a crunchy sound. It was a slow bite.
oh
Or here's a
boy,
single bite.
and that's exactly how you ate your Captain Crunch.
Yep, gone. And then I would drink the
One
milk.
bite. Oh, that with a straw? You drank the cereal milk with a
No,
straw?
I wouldn't drink with a straw, but that's what I had.
I was like, because we Neanderthals would take the bowl and
Yeah,
you
that's
went
what
and got a straw.
that's what I did.
But there's actually a cereal restaurant. I saw an article about this. Where I can't remember, but it's a restaurant that serves all cereal. So you could get a bowl of cereal, but you could get also like cereal on ice. I used to like to take vanilla ice cream and put Rice Krispies on it.
Oh, I never even thought about that. That
Oh, it
actually
was
sounds good.
wonderful.
But you
Rice
know what?
Krispies or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You did a story a while ago about like a place called like a cereal bar or something like that. It's been years ago now, I think. But I'm pretty
You know,
certain it
we've been
had a
on for
story.
almost 7 years. We're 2 months shy of 7 years. I don't recall the cereal bar
Yeah,
story.
I thought, yeah, somewhere. I don't know if it was New York or I don't know, but yeah, I thought you did a story on a cereal bar.
I can't remember if we did, and I really remember just basically every story we've done, but I don't
Hmm,
remember that one. That must
hmm,
have been a brief glossing over. But yeah, there is a place that is a restaurant that serves all cereal. They do ice cream with cereal. They have like also kind of like cereal acai bowls with like
hmm.
granola cereal. They have all sorts of things. So if you're a cereal fan, I can't help you because I can't remember the name of the thing, but all you have to do is Google cereal restaurant and it will probably
Yeah.
come up.
What was your
But
favorite
here's a
cereal?
hint. My favorite cereal growing up or now?
Yeah, growing up.
Probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Golden Grams.
Mm.
Oh, and Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh man, I forgot about those. Yeah, those are my favorite, man.
I could tell by your voice that took you all the way
Yeah,
back.
all the way back because I get like a mixing bowl with cereal and milk.
Yeah,
I'm
you
serious.
know what? That for some reason irked me when I would see people that would take like whole mixing because that's the whole box of cereal. Get a
Absolutely.
normal human being sized bowl, but that would never have flown in our house.
Yeah.
Never. You get a regular small size bowl and you get your thing. Now you could have another bowl if you wish, but what you won't do is get an abnormally large bowl and finish all the milk and cereal. Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, that only happened when my mom wasn't home. But if that I would never have done it in
And
her
then she
side.
came home and was like, "What happened to all of the
Absolutely,
cereal?"
absolutely,
Did you even
absolutely.
have the foresight to at least wash and dry the bowl so you wouldn't get caught, or would it just be in the sink?
Yeah, it would pretty much be
Hmm.
in a sink, and I wasn't a my mom would I wasn't a good liar anyways. My mom was like, "You can't even lie, Curtis." She would- yeah, so I was yeah. I just couldn't think that far in advance.
Clearly not. Apparently, you could not.
Mm-mm. I get the him and Han.
Hum. There's clearly milk and remnants of cereal in that mixing bowl, and clearly it was you.
Absolutely,
Everybody
absolutely.
else is outside. You're in here trying to eat mountains of cereal. So
Yeah.
ice cream with Cocoa Krispy cereal, says Susan
That
Angles.
sounds good.
Oh, that sounds really great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a purist when it comes to certain things. So I like flavored things, but sometimes I'm just good for plain vanilla bean of things.
Mm.
So the regular Rice Krispies with that, it just had it was really good, but it was, I don't know. Sometimes you just want things plain. Or maybe I just want things plain. So, and sometimes I'm even like I like cheesecake, but I'm a cheesecake purist too sometimes. Like all the too much, regular cheesecake is good for me.
So you don't like the like raspberry topping or chocolate?
Oh yeah, no. I like the a cheesecake with strawberry topping, but
Yeah,
it can't
okay.
be too much. It can't be. I don't need a whole bunch chunks of. Just a
Right,
little
right.
bit for the flavoring.
Mhm.
Because I think when you do too much, sometimes it drowns out the flavor of what it's supposed to be.
Right.
People who overly use seasoned salt.
Mhm.
I believe in seasoning, but should eggs taste like shrimp because you use the same seasoning? Let's be clear. There's some people who don't understand that there are certain seasonings for certain things. And they're like, oh, they just put everything in. And so
Right.
your eggs end up tasting like catfish because it has the same seasonings.
That's
You should be
hilarious.
able to season. I believe in seasoned food, but not so that I can't taste what the food is. Chicken and
Right.
fish should not taste the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying. Okay, milk and cream cereal bar, says Terry. That's what it's called. Fantastic. Okay, yes, and she said it's here. It's there in NYC. Okay, for some reason I knew it was in New York. Okay, and she also says that's the best part of drinking the sweetened milk out of the bowl, isn't it? Though
It is.
we
It
also
is.
have, and it's so hard to say goodbye. iPod special, free dessert with any meal purchase. You are on it with the specials today, Queen of Food
Here she is.
Truckery. And Susan loved the cereals with the prize. So did I. It was and it was even doubly good if you got the cereal you loved and it had a prize. What?
Absolutely.
Remember when McDonald's had prizes and you didn't even have to buy a Happy Meal?
Oh,
for
I
the
do.
prize.
Yeah, you can actually say, hey, can I get a prize for my child or a prize for me?
No, exactly. I went like, was it 2 years ago or something, through a drive-through because I wanted to get a smoothie because I was on my way somewhere. I didn't have time to make one. I said, this is the closest. Let me get a smoothie from them. And it was decent. So the person at the drive-through window said, do you have kids? I was like, no. He said, oh, I was going to offer you a Hello Kitty. I said, I want it. All you had to say was Hello Kitty. I collect them. So I have a Hello Kitty little toy from McDonald's because I got a smoothie. Kids. I'm a kid.
Do they even give those prizes anymore in Happy Meals, or do they sell Happy Meals
I don't
anymore?
know. I think they still sell Happy Meals, right? I don't know. Somebody with kids say, Serena, do they still sell Happy Meal? Well, you and people who eat McDonald's, do they still sell Happy Meals? Anyway. Yeah, Girls Inc. Jasmine, let me just say, Jasmine says her cereal always had prizes. Yeah, it's only Malto Meal that MC Curtis had that every 12th bag had a prize. Kind of nonsense.
No, I think it was like some kind of thing going on. That's why. So it wasn't a prize in every box.
Malto Meal. Terry loved the glasses from McDonald's. Oh, they did used to have glasses. Yes. And guess what? Remember Pizza Hut had also the original Coca-Cola glasses, the glass ones. You would get free ones. So you would try and go eat there, whenever, because it was only a once in a while thing for us so that you could have a set of 4.
I don't remember that too much.
Yeah. They look, these places were trying to get you in.
I remember those 3D glasses. Remember the glasses that some movies were supposed to be in 3D and it just were just awful.
Yes, I still have a pair of 3D glasses because sometimes these will come on TV that are supposed to be 3D. So much fun. All right. Serena says Honey Nut Cheerios is her favorite. Serena, no, eggs should not taste like shrimp or catfish. You're using too much of seasoning if that is the case. Sometimes simplicity is the
Right.
key. All right. So we're just at 1 hour now. We're going to get ready to wrap up, but I can't go with I can't let you go with a couple of without a couple of what the hell is this is. And by the way, we're not going to really cover the story, but Pinky Cole from Slutty Vegan, now Slutty Vegan is valued at 100 million. So do you know Slutty Vegan, MC?
I've heard of I've heard of the different stories on Facebook postings as well. Yeah.
So it's a young Black woman. She's a millennial. She's a vegan. She wanted to be able to eat like kind of quote junk food too that was vegan. And so she started this burger restaurant. And now I don't know how many they have. Does she have 6? But it's actually a burger chain and with plans to open more. And 100 million went through a Series A round of funding where she raised 25 million, and so it's now valued at 100 million. Congratulations to Pinky Cole of the ATL. Good for you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, sister.
Absolutely. And speaking of burgers, could I have photo 8, please? Today on What the Hell Is This, number 1. Tiger steaks and lion burgers. Oh my. Lab-grown exotic animal meat is on the way. So Yilmaz Bora says this. Lion is one of the most, no, not one of the most, the most popular wild exotic animal in the world. I mean, everybody watches The Lion King. I think everybody's enthusiastic about trying cultivated lion meat. Who told you that? My dear, who said that? You do know lions are cats.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You do know tigers are cats.
Mm-hmm.
So Bora is the co-founder of a tech company called Primeval Foods. He thinks that people would be willing to throw down their hard-earned money for a taste of lion burger, tiger tacos. Oh, gosh. This is what he says. He told this to Digital Trends. We're focused on all of the popular wild animals, like big cats, elephants, giraffes, and zebras. But the main purpose, right, is they are the sexy ones.
You're breaking up pretty bad.
Are you there, MC?
Yeah, I'm here.
Boy, I must have frozen again. Yeah, no, because I see I'm getting this okay, I see. Are you there, MC?
I've got the show card up.
Show card. If you can hear me, I'm gonna go out and come back in. Okay, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially.
Tachi, you're on.
Yeah, no, I couldn't see that I'm on because I'm still behind.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wow. Okay, so we're really oh, wait a minute. It just now cleared up. So weird. Okay. Let me finish this and this will be our last story. So, back to lion and tiger and bear meat. Oh my. Let me ask you, would you try this, MC?
I'm going to keep it nice and say no.
Oh, goodness. So this is not plant-based. So don't confuse this with like Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat. No. These are actually trying to be lab-grown versions of these animals. But if you would not eat them in the real world, why would you want to taste a lab-grown version of this? I don't understand.
Some people, I'm sure he's going to get, or they, who the team of people, whoever they are, I'm sure they're going to get some takers on it. Absolutely. There's no way in the world I would.
So here's what they say. I'm just going to do this and then we're going to end. Our elevator pitch is based on the premise that the reason we consume traditional species is not because they are the tastiest, healthiest, or most nutritious, but because they were the easiest to domesticate. Since we now can cultivate any species in the world, why do we keep going back to traditional species? Why do we not explore beyond domestication? For the same reason you don't eat cat and dog now.
I was just thinking, and I said, you know what? I am sick and tired of chicken and beef. We get the same thing all the time: chicken, beef, and fish. Why not have some tiger or some lion or something like that? What is wrong with the rest of the world?
Yeah, who doesn't want fried penguin?
What's wrong with everybody?
Primeval, I get you're trying to play to a niche, but because you are trying to lab grow lion, tiger, and bears, oh my steaks, you have earned a spot as the Bama of the week, in the words of Huggy Lowdown. And that is it. I don't know why the internet is playing with us today, but it's clearly saying that it's time to go. So I apologize that we went over because we had to kind of restart twice, but I am so glad that you all hung in there with us. We hope you enjoyed all of the stories. Thank you so very much for being here. Any final words, MC?
No, great show. Great show.
Wonderful. Well, Susan Angles is enjoying, but I'm sure she, according to her, she's shaking her head no to the possibility of big game stakes. No, thank you.
Big game stakes.
Love you for watching. Bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and these awful lion, tigers, and bear steaks from Primeval Foods. Please let us all exit stage left. Until next week, cheers.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news.